and welcome to the news recap here on News Ghana Clock. We are coming to you from our studios here inside the zoo. My name is Hegel Fusua.
And my name is Kweku Ediamansa. Coming up in this news bulletin, President Akufo-Addo finally speaks on the Ghana-US military cooperation agreement.
Also, Liberian President George Weah appeals to President Akufo-Addo to help Liberia succeed.
Now, a group threatened several demonstrations to oppose the Ghana-US military deal.
We take it to the educational sector as the West African Examination Council assures stakeholders that there will be no leakages in this year's exams.
Now, in business, prices of fuel to go up by 2%.
Also starting this week, individuals without GRA's TIN number cannot access certain services. We'll tell you more.
Now, we'll do some sports stories where we'll take a look at the scorelines in the English Premiership. We have these and many other stories all coming up in the next few minutes. Please do stay. Alright, thanks for staying there with us. Now to our first story. President Akufo-Addo on Thursday night addressed the nation over the controversial agreement with the US government, which has sharply divided the nation. Now, the president noted it was prudent to continue the cooperation agreement with the US to ensure peace in the country. He gave an assurance that the US-Ghana military cooperation agreement will help enhance our defense capability and offer an important layer of support in our common effort to protect the peace in the country.
Well, let's still stay at the presidency as President Akufo-Addo has commended the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission (PURC) for the reduction of electricity tariffs which took effect from April 1, 2018. He noted it was heartening that the PURC had taken forward a proposal by government for a review of tariffs for the structure of the country's energy production. Now, he was speaking after swearing in two members of the PURC board at the Jubilee House in Accra.
Now we'll continue with the stories where the Vice President of Policy Think Tank and Imani Africa, Kofi Bentil, says President Akufo-Addo missed an opportunity to explain two key issues in his view grounded the debate over the military cooperation deal with the US. Now these concerns are who to be held responsible should a Ghanaian suffer injury caused by US forces carrying out an operation and how the deal was negotiated. These were not said when the president addressed the nation at his address. This was also pointed out by Kofi Bentil.
Now, the 2018 West African Senior High School Certificate Examination started this week with chemistry practicals, music, auto mechanics, among others. Now, according to the West Africa Examination Council, some 3,016 judges to resolve the challenges, he has the yearly exam leakages linked with the examination board will not be experienced this year.
Now, still in this particular development, now the Deputy Minister for Education in charge of General Education, Dr. Yaosei Aduchum, has appealed to teachers in the senior high schools not to abandon their students who are in need of their moral support during their exams. The Deputy Minister made the appeal when he visited some West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination WASI centers within the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to know the state of preparedness of the students as well as to interact with them to boost their morale.
Schools. The committee is unhappy about such developments at Ejusuman Senior High School in the Ashanti region following reports that the situation is widespread in other schools. Now, according to a ranking member of the committee, teachers need to be talked to and people should be exposed whenever these issues come up in our society so as to ensure that it can be eliminated.
I'll continue with the stories where the Australian High Commission in Ghana says the Australian Border Force, that is ABF, has cancelled the visas of several dozen travellers from a variety of countries, including Ghana, who attempted to travel to Australia posing as journalists. This was confirmed by the embassy in a press statement. Meanwhile, the government of Ghana has stated that it will also probe the deportation of some Ghanaians from Australia who claimed to be journalists from the Commonwealth Games.
The Inter-Party Coalition for National Sovereignty has vowed to embark on a series of demonstrations across the country to oppose the Ghana-US military agreement. Now, at a press conference in Accra, spokesperson for the group and national chairman of the People's National Convention, Bernard Mona, said the presence of a U.S. military base in Ghana is an attraction for tourists around the world. Now, according to the group, the president should have used the opportunity he got to address this situation to indicate a withdrawal or renegotiation of the terms and conditions of the agreement.
Now we'll continue with some other stories where the Ghana Journalists Association says it does not know the identity of the 50 Ghanaian journalists who were deported from Australia. It also says it is not aware of their mission in Australia. In a press statement signed by President of the GJA Association, that is GJA, Afelmone, he called on the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the police and other relevant institutions to thoroughly investigate the matter.
Now, a group calling itself the Ghana First Patriotic Front, which led a demonstration last week with the support of opposition political parties, separation agreement, has served notice that it will hit the streets again in 2 weeks to protest the government's posture. President Akufo-Addo, in an address on Thursday night, debunked assertions that the United States of America wants a military base in Ghana. The president emphatically assured that the agreement poses no threat.
So now, two other stories. A family has been left in distraught and in pain after attempts to get treatment for one of their members at two health facilities in Accra were ignored by nurses and a doctor, leading to his death. Now, the 70-year-old man, whose name is undisclosed, complained of having difficulties in breathing and was rushed to the emergency and accident unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital on Thursday. Now, narrating the incident, a family member of the deceased, who identified himself only as Selom, said his uncle died at the Kolebu Polyclinic, where they were directed to obtain a referral letter.
Moving on, an informant in the JB Dankwa murder case has alleged that he was picked up and beaten by some men suspected to be in collusion with some top officers of the Ghana Police Service on Thursday. The 25-year-old former phone repairer narrated that he's been living in fear since he offered information about the alleged killer of JB Dankwa Edu. JB Dankwa, who was a member of parliament for Ibuakwa North, was stabbed to death on February 9, 2016 at his residence in Shiashi.
Now let's move on and do some business stories where a number of government officials, including Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has filed their tax returns at the head office of the Ghana Revenue Authority in Accra. This public show formed part of efforts to increase awareness among the public on the importance of paying taxes. Now, the event was also used to launch the Tax and Good Governance Week. Speaking at the event prior to the filing of his tax returns, Dr. Bawumia said the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda can only be achieved if the country improves the tax mobilization.
Well, still on tax-related issues, the Ghana Revenue Authority has announced that individuals without a tax identification number, also known as TIN, effective April 3, 2018, will not be allowed to acquire a driver's license, open a bank account, get a passport, transact business with government, or register a business. Now, according to the GRA, this forms part of efforts to identify potential taxpayers and broaden the tax base. The authority says all Ghanaians working must acquire a TIN to fulfill the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915.
Alright, so still in business, the prices of petroleum products at the pumps have gone up by 2% for the first pricing window this month. For the first 2 weeks of this month, consumers should be prepared to pay more for fuel prices they purchase at the various retail outlets for the oil marketing companies. Now, the first pricing window spans from 3rd to the 15th of this month, that is April.
Let's do some sports stories now, where in the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Australia, Team Ghana lost 5-0 to Canada in badminton mixed team event played at the Carrara Sports Arena, with Bafo finished 10th in the women's weightlifting competition, where she lifted a total of 165 kilograms in a snatch and clean and jerk event. In swimming, Maya finished first in the women's 50 meters freestyle with a time of 28.38 seconds, but she fell outside the fastest 16 qualifiers for the semi-finals.
Alright, still in sports now, to the big one. Manchester United played against Manchester City, where they won by 3-2. Now, Arsenal also won by 3-2 against Southampton, and Chelsea Football Club sat at home and lost and drew against West Ham United.
Liberian President George Weah has appealed to President Akufo-Addo and Ghanaians to help Liberia succeed to renew the bonds of friendship and solidarity between Ghana and Liberia. Well, on this note, we end the news bulletin for this week, but before we go, a recap of the headlines.
President Akufo-Addo finally speaks on the Ghana-US cooperation agreement.
Also, Liberian President George Weah appeals to President Akufo-Addo to help Liberia succeed.
Now, a group threatened several demonstrations to oppose the Ghana-US military agreement.
We took it to the educational sector as the West African Examination Council assures stakeholders that there will be no leakages in this year's exams.
Now, in business, prices of fuel to go up by 2%.
Also, starting this week, individuals without GRA's SIM number cannot access certain services.
Now in sports, we took you through some scorelines in the English Premiership. That's all we have for you by way of news update here on News Ghana Clock. Do join us next time for a news update.
There's more news on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and also on YouTube. The news was produced by AMULENS Production. Thanks so much for making time with us. My name is Hegel Fusua.
And my name is Kweku Ediamansa.